Welcome to Get More Happy. We invite you to journey with us as we find ways, big and small, to get more happy in your life. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Mom. Elena.
So, as I said last time, quarantine. And so Lisa has been at home and I have been here. And so we're kind of finding ways to still do this together, but separately. And there you go. So Jessie, who lives with me, is stuck with me. So she's filling in.
Yay!
Today I want to talk about, today I want to talk about maintaining gratitude during rough times, during hard times, difficult times. So everybody's life has changed. And we don't know when we're getting it back. And we don't know what it's going to look like when we get it back. And it's been kind of hard.
In the midst of the coronavirus.
Exactly. So it's kind of interesting because our family, we don't have young kids, but we have Becca, who's a college student.
And me.
Jessie, who's a college graduate and baby adult, new adult, fresh adult.
Ooh, I like fresh.
Yeah. I just got laid off temporarily. So I kind of feel like we're speaking to a lot of different things.
Different people.
Yeah. So things have gotten kind of hard. And we've had to make some hard decisions. My youngest daughter, Becca, her dorms are still open. Classes have gone online. She is basically her freshman year has completely changed. She had just gotten to where she was making, creating a new group of friends and as a freshman camp counselor and all of the new stuff they were going to do to bond and everything is they're having to find innovative ways to do it. Mm-hmm. She's just a year out from being a senior, so all the high school seniors that she knows have kind of lost all of their things. Jessie was supposed to graduate college this May.
Which would have meant that if that was still happening, it would have meant that my graduation ceremony would be postponed. I wouldn't really...
Saying goodbye to all your friends.
Yeah, I guess high school and college senior mm-hmm. just lost their senior year, which is supposed to be the best years of your life, mm-hmm. and so a lot of hard feelings going around.
So it's interesting for us because each of us have kind of lost it at different times.
Yeah.
So Becca was first because she was the one who got the news that school's canceled. She was the one who was the first hit. Yeah. To where it was she has to she could move back into the dorm for now. We don't know if that's going to happen we don't know what's going to happen. And she knows that. But a lot of her friends, their dorms closed. Yeah. So the first thing was she got a second week of spring break, and then all of these counseling group sessions were canceled, and for a couple weeks. And so now they're having to find ways. How are we going to do this training mm-hmm. remotely? Mm-hmm. She will start today's Saturday. Yeah. So she'll
days
start.
Are all running together.
Exactly. And so actually by the time you guys see this, she'll have already done a week of online mm-hmm. Classes. So we'll see how that goes too. But so she did absolutely lose it. She was here home for spring break, and we had to make the decision whether she went back or not. And I've let her make that decision. We're keeping in contact. She's not too far away. And if we need to, we'll bring her back home. So we have that going on. And then Jessie, you were next to fall.
Yeah. Well, it was hard because, the virus started affecting our lives here in the United States kind of the second week of March, third week of March.
Gosh, time has no meaning.
I know. And so I had a Broadway show I was going to.
That's right. Her and her sister. Mm-hmm. It was sister
tickets.
time.
I was going to the Houston Rodeo, that got canceled. I was going to a Renaissance Fair, that got canceled. My swing dancing lessons got canceled. And the numbers started with, you can't be in a group of people with 250 people. And then it went to 150 people, and then it went to 50 people, and then now we're at 10 people with a $1,000 fine.
And by the time we air this, it might be no people, because a lot of states have gone to that.
Completely don't leave your house.
Exactly.
Quarantine.
Yeah. And then I got temporarily laid off. I teach classes at the Y, and all of a sudden one day it was, we are canceling all group classes. And I was like, okay, but the Y is still staying open. And then the next day it was like, nope. And so never, ever, ever in my life, I mean, I've never been, well, I wasn't fired, but I kind of, I've never experienced this in my life. So now I had to deal with, what do I do? And I know temporarily the grocery stores, the pharmacies, Amazon, everybody's hiring, but I am diabetic. I have autoimmune issues. And so I had to make the decision, what was worthwhile to my family, what wasn't. So, I mean, I'm looking for, I'm looking for things, ways to contribute. I was able to apply for unemployment. So we've all taken hits.
That one hit. Yeah.
That one hit. Yeah, I kind of lost that one.
Well, and I think the next level of spooky was when, we've just been watching these past few days, the numbers of cases rising and rising and rising. And so everyone is just kind of starting to transition from this, like, is it really that kind of a big deal?
Right.
And we're all kind of transitioning into this, wait a minute, like, this is really spooky. And that's when I started working from home, and we started realizing, this is real. They're giving us these restrictions to keep us safe, and we should follow the regulations.
Well, and I think that to me, there was there was a point in time where all of a sudden I realized I am at higher risk. And then it was like, but I feel healthy and strong.
And you are healthy and strong.
But so there did come a point in time, and it was funny because I was watching TV with my husband yesterday, and we were watching a commercial that was talking about, the people who have this and this and this and this, and he's like, oh, that's my dad. And I was like,
it's also her.
That's me. And he yesterday, it was kind of funny, we were talking, and you'll see as the weeks go on,
our hair's getting longer and
crazier. And I finally, yesterday said to him, we need to really and truly start thinking about the things we're doing. Which, I mean, we haven't been going and doing crazy things, but we sent him to the grocery store instead of I went to the grocery store.
We've been,
make sure you sanitize and wash your hands the minute you come in the house. We really are making sure we're not in the 10 people or more. Like with 10 people or more, but all of a sudden it was like, maybe we don't just run up to 7-Eleven and get a big gulp. Maybe the haircuts. And he was like, I was like, oh, I'm so frustrated. I want a haircut so bad. And he's like,
go get it.
Aren't they still open? And I'm like, yeah, but it feels like an unnecessary risk. It feels like that's something that maybe I shouldn't be going to do right now. Well, and he was like, what?
Well, I think something that's been a challenge for me is that we're not germaphobes.
We're not.
We share drinks. We wash our hands an appropriate amount of times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I don't hand sanitize often. I'm not a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And so then, like, going into this next level of this virus is serious, and washing your hands and hand sanitizing and not touching frequent things is important.
Yeah.
And so, I have started working from home, but I went into the office to grab a few things, and I just felt so strange. I put on gloves, and I felt so strange. But I was truly, like, wanting to be safe and wanting to be as cautious as I can.
Right.
And I think what's strange about it, and I think this might be what you're feeling about the higher risk, is it's a shift in identity.
Yeah. So we've just spent half this video. We promised you gratitude. We just spent half this video telling you what was wrong.
But I think it's important too for people to recognize that like everyone.
You can't go straight to Pollyanna. And that's what, like, and you're looking at me like you have no clue what that means.
No, I know.
You can't go straight to happiness, you know, and that's what we've always said with Get More Happy. It's not like, oh, you know, I'm blindly happy.
No.
What this endeavor has always been is we recognize that things are hard. We recognize that there are challenges. How to find your happiness amidst it. So I think you're right. I think a large thing is feeling your feelings first.
Yeah.
You can't go straight into happiness, you know. So let's talk about the things that we are grateful for and maybe some things that you can find to be grateful for. What a day and age we are in. Even 5 years ago, I don't remember FaceTime being a thing. We had Skype. I do remember having Skype, but that was the only one. Yeah, that was the only one. Whereas now there's, you know, Zoom and, you know, all this stuff. Becca is at college, and we were just talking about wanting to watch a movie together. So we might do Netflix party. I know that there's other things that you can do too. I don't know, but you can Google that, you know, like how to watch a movie together apart. And so we're going to have some family time later. We have some family friends that we were just discussing about, you know, what if we got on Zoom and played a Scrabble game together? Mm-hmm. You know, what can we do to still have social time with each other? These videos, you know, I mean, that's interesting because Lisa and I just 2 weeks ago decided to vlog. And so now this is another connection level.
You can see our pretty faces.
So very, very grateful for technology.
Yeah.
This is a day and age where we actually can have instant connection with people even though we're isolated.
Well, and another thing to that point, I think the social aspect of technology is incredibly important. Mm-hmm. But speaking from a business standpoint,
absolutely, right.
Like I brought my laptop home, and I'm able to email and text and call my coworkers if I have questions, and I'm able to still be a productive working individual. And
you're not a programmer. Like, you know, like Dad's been able to work from home for eons because he's a computer programmer. Yeah. You know, and so what I'm saying is years ago, it was that world could do it, but not other jobs could do it.
Right. And I mean, I just keep
your job's very collaborative.
Yeah, I keep thinking back to the days. I'm a designer, and so back in the day, when you didn't have laptops, you would hand draw everything, and I mean that would be almost.
And then how would you get somebody and how would you get somebody else to mark it up and then give it to you?
Yeah. So we are just in such a unique day and age where we are so connected via internet that there's a lot of new possibilities, a lot of things that can stay open and connected when we're not together.
Right. On a personal level, I took that big trip to Hawaii this year, and because of that,
lucky you took it then.
Heck yeah! Well, that is another thing to be grateful for, right?
For timing.
Exactly. But due to that trip, I'm trying to catch up financially. So there are certain things that my husband and I put into place to try to pay that off and then be able to take more trips. So, you know, we had already worked out that Jessie having, first of all, the timing of her graduating, you know, that made it to where... How lucky were you? But also what that did for me was you took over one of the car payments. You know, you took over the car insurance because the phone, but because you got new car insurance, I researched new car insurance. So then I ended up saving a ton of money on that. We decided to cut cable recently. Like this is 2 weeks before all the world
just happened.
Yeah.
The universe was knocking on your brain.
Exactly. So we completely, you know, had made that switch. I mean, literally, I think a week or two ago, we cut cable. Yeah. Last week, we cut cable off.
Yep, but just right before.
Yeah, just right before everything.
Crazy.
So all these things I had put into place to get ahead
is helping you stay constant.
Right, exactly. Helping me not panic. And, you know, also my husband being able to have a job where his job's stable. It's, you know, healthcare stuff, and he can work from home easily.
He's going to be fine.
And Jessie had talked about moving out this month.
I had.
And she's staying here. And again,
well, for reasons before everything happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so what else that did for us is she has a full-time, real nice paid job.
Yeah.
And so the money I'm not making makes me feel a little guilty.
I volunteered.
She volunteered. And, you know, and we did have like 2 months between graduation and when she got a job that I had told her, don't worry.
So I keep telling her.
And so she tells me not to worry.
Don't worry.
I'm grateful for, and this is not a political statement at all because I'm very apolitical, but my unemployment, which again, I never, ever thought I'd be applying for, just randomly. So I think it was Monday I found out that I was temporarily laid off. And somebody had sent me, I saw on Facebook somewhere, somebody talking about, oh, temporary, even though I work part-time, temporary employees or temporarily you can go ahead and get unemployment. And so I filled it out on Monday. And then on Tuesday is when the Y shut the doors and sent everyone a message saying, go fill out unemployment. So I was ahead of the curve. So that's the thing to be grateful for. So that was on Monday. It was Thursday that I had paperwork saying, yes, you're approved. Here's the date. This is what you do, blah, 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 blah. I'll be earning about half of what I get paid. But again, I made all these other changes that kind of, so
it helps you financially.
Helps me financially. And then we have you that can help out financially too. So, yeah, this isn't everybody. This is the other thing, you know, recognizing the gratitude that I know so many people that both spouses work hourly jobs and they're both out of work. You know, how fortunate am I? How fortunate am I? We're not going to lose our house. We're not going to get the bill, you know, everything's shut off. That's another gratitude thing. You know, I'm seeing that the electric companies, the mortgage companies, I don't know how this is across the nation or anything, but how they're like, okay, we're not going to shut anybody's electricity off. We're not going to take, you know.
Yeah.
So, finding the gratitude where you can.
Another thing I was going to say is something we've talked about is how lucky are we that we are in a household of people who enjoy each other's company.
That's a huge thing.
And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of challenges in some people's relationships when you're all of a sudden sequestered in a house 24/7 together.
But hopefully they can find the gratitude too and the structuring alone time. You know, okay, I'm going to spend some time in my room. Leave me alone for now. And I think that's the point. It's, you know, when things get hard, I think that what we're really trying to say is when things get hard, feel your feelings. Don't just automatically, you know, feel your feelings.
And then start pulling the good from
trying to find it. And, you know, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's extremely hard to find the good. And that's when it's good to enlist a friend and start talking it out.
When things get challenging, I like to say that it's an adventure because it kind of flips the script.
That's right.
And I mean, before everything went crazy, I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
For years, when something gets hard, I just go, well, it's an adventure, and I think it's part of when you convince yourself, then it becomes easier.
Exactly. So. And you know, hopefully we're all going to get through this together. There are definitely going to be ramifications worldwide for all of us. And hopefully we'll all help each other through it.
It'll be an adventure.
Adventure is out there.
Heck yeah.
All right, thanks.